Okay, good day, ma'am. Good day, friends. Thanks for time given to us. I and my friends Lediana, Suriani, Edom, we will present the materials about writing the research report. The purpose of this writing the research report is to provide useful advice on how to organize and write a research paper that has the potential for publication. And there are four main sections in this chapter. The first one is general principle related to writing the research report. And the second point, writing quantitative research report using the APA style. And the third, writing qualitative research report. And the last, writing mixed research report. Okay, the first one is general principle related to writing the research report. There are some general writing tips and by listing some research on writing, like language. The following three guidelines will help you select appropriate language in your report. The first, choose accurate and clear words that are free from bias. One way to do this is to be very specific rather than less specific. And the second, avoid labeling people whenever possible. And the last, write about your research participant in a way that acknowledges their participant. And for example, avoid the impersonal term subject or subjects. Words such as research participant or children or adults are preferable. Keeping in mind the above guidelines, you should give special attention to the following issues which are explained more fully in our chapter and especially in the APA publication manual. The first point, gender. The bottom line is to avoid sexist language. And the second point, sexual orientation. Terms such as homosexual should be replaced with terms such as lesbian, gay men, and bisexual woman or woman. And the third point, racial and ethnic identity. And the next point, disabilities. And the next, age. Acceptable terms are boy and girl, young man and young woman, male adolescents and female adolescent. Older person is preferred to elderly. Call people 18 and older men and women. The next point is editorial style. The first, italics. As a general rule, use italics infrequently. If you are submitting a paper for publication, you can now use italics directly rather than using underlines to signal what is to be italicized. And abbreviation. Use abbreviation sparingly and try to use conventional abbreviation. And headings. The APA manual or chapter specifies 5 different levels of heading and the combination in which they are to be used in your report.
If you are using two levels of heading, center is first level and use upper and lowercase letter. Do not use all caps. And place the second heading on the left set in upper and lowercase letter in italics. Here is an example method. And the next procedure, if you are using the self-headings, do the first levels are just now for two levels. And the next method, procedure instrument or start the text on the same line. And the next, question of the word, then 14 words shall be inserted into the text and a closing in double question marks. And the next, number. Use word for number that begin a sentence and for number that are below then see the APA publication manual for expansion to this rule.
The next point is physical measurement. APA recommends using metric units for all physical measurement. You can also use other units as long as you include the metric equivalent in parentheses. And the next point, presentation of statistical results.
Provide enough information to allow the reader to collaborate the result reference question in the test. An APA format is an author-date citation method. And the next point is reference list. All citizens in the text must appear in the reference list. We can see page 456 of the text or the APA manual for the specific format you follow. And here are two examples. The first, American Psychological Association. Publication manual of the American Psychological Association. And then, according to Thurn and Johnson, a model of mastery motivation for ethics press court in this in Journal of Education Psychology. And the last topic is typing. Double space of materials, and the second use 1-inch margins, and the next use only one space between the end of a sentence and the beginning of the next sentence. The second point from this chapter is about writing quantitative research reports using the APA style. And there are 7 major parts to the research report. The first one is title page, abstract, introduction, method, result, discussion, and reference.
The first one, title page. Your paper title should summarize the main topic of the paper in about 10 to 12 words. And the second, abstract. This should be comprehensive summary, which is about 2020 words for a manuscript submitted for review. It is typed on a spread page. The third, introduction. This section is not labeled. It should present the research problem and place it in the context of other research literature in the area. The next, method. This section does not start on a spread page in the manuscript being submitted for review. The most common subsections are participants. For example, list the number of participants, their character, and how they were selected. Apparatus or material or instrument. For example, list material used and how they can be obtained. And product, for example, provide a step-by-step account of what the researchers and participants did during the study so that someone could replicate it. The next, result. This does not start on spread page in your manuscript. It is fair you report on the result of your data analysis and statistical significance testing. Be sure report the significance level that you are using. For example, an alpha level of 0.5 was used in the study, and report you observed effect size along with the test of the statistical significance. Tables and figures are expensive but can be used when they effectively illustrate your idea. And the next, discussion. This is where you interpret and evaluate your result presented in the previous section. Be sure to state whether your hypotheses were supported. Also, answer the following question. Number 1. What does the study contribute? And the second, how has it helped solve the study problem? And the next, what conclusion and theoretical implication can be drawn from the study? And the next, what are the limitations of the study? And the last question, what are some suggestions for future research in this area? And the last point, reference. Center the word reference at the top of the page and double speeds all entires. The third point in this chapter, write qualitative research report. We recommend that qualitative research use the same 7 major parts that we discussed for the quantitative research report. The first one, title page and abstract. The goals are exactly the same as before. You should provide a clear and descriptive title. The abstract should describe the key focus of the study. It is key methodological features and the most important findings. The next, introduction, clearly explain the purpose of your study and state in any research structure that is relevant to your study. In qualitative research, questions will typically be stated in more open-ended and general forms such as the research hopes to discover, explore a process, explain or understand, or describe the experience. And the next method. It's important the qualitative research always including this section in their reports. This section includes information telling how the study was done, where it was done, with from it was done, why the study was designed as it was, how the data were collected and analyzed, and what procedures were carried out to ensure the validity of the arrangement and conclusion made in the report. The next result. The overriding concrete when write the result section in the provide sufficient and confiding evidence. Remember, the assertion must be backed up with empirical data. The bottom line is this: it is about evidence. The first one, you will need to find an appropriate balance between description and interpretation in order to write a useful and confiding result section. Several specific strategies are discussed in the chapter. For example, providing quotes following interpretative statement with example and etc. And the second, we state the regarding of the specific format of your result section. You must always provide data. For example, description, quest, data from multiple scores, and so forth, that back up your assertion. Effective ways to organize the result section are organizing the content around the research question, a typology created in the study, the key terms, or around a conceptual scheme used in the study. And the third, it can also be very helpful to ask diagrams, materials, table, figures, and etc. to help communicate your ideas in the quantitative research report. And the next discuss, you should state your overall conclusion and over addition interpretation in this section of the report. Even if you research in exploratory, it is important to fit your findings back into relevant research literature. You may also make suggestions for future researchers. And the last for the chapter about write mixed research report. The first, know your audience and write in a manner that clearly communicates. And the second, the suggestion already discussed in this chapter for quantitative and qualitative apply for mixed research. And the third, in general, try to use the same 7 headings discussed above. And last, here are a few organized options. The words organize the introduction, method, and result by research question. And the second, organize some section, for example, method and result by research paradigm or quantitative and qualitative. And the third, write essentially two spreads sub-reports, or one for qualitative part and one for the quantitative part. And last, note, in all class, if you are write a mixed research report, mixing must take place somewhere. Example, minimum the feedings must be related and mixed in the discuss section. Okay, friend and mom, I think that's all for our presentation. And thank you for your attention.